What if I told you that in 2011, the voice of a 17-year-old revolutionary poet echoed through the streets of El Cairo during the Arab Spring Revolution, and that 12 years later, that same poet would conquer European jazz scene by winning France's most prestigious awards? Some voices just refuse to be silenced. Welcome, beautiful people. I'm your host, Joan Pla. Today, I'm speechless. Jokes aside, the reason why I say this is because, as you know, I like to give you 3 reference bands or 3 reference artists, but in this case, I got nothing. And yes, I'm sure there are plenty of artists that would be valid references for my artist this time. I just don't know them, I gotta be honest. In any case, stay tuned till the end of the video for the artist reveal. Okay, let's get into this. Today's artist started as a shy teenager performing poetry in one of the most significant moments in Arab world's recent history, specifically in Egypt, with the 2011 revolution concentrated in Tahrir Square, which became the heart of Egypt's fight for the change, where thousands of people gathered together to demand the end of a 30-year-old regime. After 18 days of peaceful protest, finally, President Hosni Mubarak stepped down. Oh yeah, we're talking about a very intense and unique moment in history here. Now, I want to be honest, I don't think his music is for everybody. In fact, I can almost guarantee that you won't like his music unless you are open-minded. If you're willing to step outside of the comfort zone, then yes, I promise it's going to expand your music horizons in ways that you never expected. Now, I'm not sure how to classify his music, but let's say it's the first jazz artist that I ever reviewed. And I know what you're thinking, jazz? Really? Oh wait, and I'm seeing people already leaving the video. Well, thank you for those that are staying. I admire you. Our story begins in a quiet house in Yanbu, that's Saudi Arabia. A kid growing up homeschooled, basically isolated from the world. He says, the 5 daily prayers of my parents were the only music I listened to at home. But here is where it gets really interesting. By 17, his family had already moved back to Egypt, and that was around the time of the revolution starting. It was then when an Egyptian poet invited him to perform in Tahrir Square. Before he knew it, his words were everywhere. From graffitis on the streets, to social media, all the way to Syrian refugee camps. Then in 2015, everything changed. The political climate in Egypt became very, very scary. He says, everything happened so fast, and my name was out there very quickly. Venues were shutting down, people were being watched, and even having an underground art scene was considered dangerous. That's when he had to make a very tough decision and move to France. But moving wasn't only about changing location, it was about a full transformation as an artist. Now living between France and Munich, he started to explore different music territories, and that made him realize, and I quote, "The composer is drawn to sounds, while the writer seeks meaning." It's very difficult to classify our artists in one little box. It's wild because the artist moves between different worlds like it's nothing. One project might be experimental electronic music with producers like Simon Cell and HVAT, and then the next one is more like traditional Mediterranean music with a project called Corsica Affiletta Choir. And in between, you have this fusion of Egyptian chanting, Baroque elements, and blues styles. As he puts it himself, when you find yourself in new and diverse audiences, you naturally evolve in your communication. One of the things that captivate me is his ability to combine all these different musical languages in a way that makes sense. It's like he's creating his own musical dictionary, and it works. In his words, my purpose is to bring people together and to light the warmth in your heart. I'm happy because I was able to translate the lyrics of the last record, in which he narrates the story of an ex-Muslim individual on his way to court for the final judgment. You know, it's not just a random concept, it connects directly to his own journey of transformation. This evolution shows up basically everywhere in his writing. When he says, "My revolution takes a different form today," he's not just being poetic, he's talking about a real transformation. This isn't just about music or poetry anymore. It's about what he calls an immersive audiovisual healing experience. Muy bien, music geeks. It's your favorite moment. It's time for the artist reveal. So who is this guy? Once a shy teenager that went from reciting poetry in Tahrir Square during the Egypt Revolution to winning one of France's most prestigious jazz awards. Amigas y amigas discovered the Egyptian expressionist, singer, songwriter, composer, and actor Abdullah Miniawi.
غريبة في ترتيبها هرجان غريبة في ترتيبها هرجان تعطيك لؤلؤا من فم الأسدين معتة ماش ولا حرجان معتة ماش ولا حرجان لحاظ الخيل غطاء والمدد غريبة في ترتيبها هرجان غريبة في ترتيبها هرجان تعطيك لؤلؤا من فم
Mind-blowing. This song penetrates my soul. The delivery, the performance, the instrumentation, I don't know, it just puts you in a trance. The song is titled Pearls for Orphans, and it's from his latest project, Le Cri du Cœur. In this project, he collaborated with trumpet player Eric Truffaz, saxophonist Peter Corser, and cellist Karsten Hochapfel. I hope I didn't butcher this. Anyway, I had never heard anything like this, have you? The music is exceptional without a doubt, but I want to say that it's his voice that penetrates my soul. And I don't understand a word of what he sings, but it's the sound that transgresses genre and language. His delivery is powerful and honest, and that's why it connects with me on a whole nother level. It's almost like a religious experience. And I must say, that doesn't happen very often. And regarding all this, I'm going to quote Abdullah Miniawi on something. He says, "When facing audiences who don't understand Arabic, you have to learn how to communicate your feelings and to use your voice as an instrument." And he's proving once again that music can touch people's hearts even though you don't understand the words. Well, we're reaching the end of the video, so thank you so much for staying with me. In conclusion, I just want to say that discovering artists like Abdullah Miniawi remind me that music doesn't need a passport. It doesn't matter where the music comes from. It doesn't matter where you come from. And it doesn't matter where you listen to this music. It's just universal. And Abdulhamid Niawi is basically a multi-instrumentalist, singer, poet, songwriter, and composer that delivers his message with the highest emotion, bypassing any possible language barrier. I truly hope that this review opened your mind and that it made you curious about exploring new musical territories. Please click like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the comment sections. Next week, I'm going to be releasing another very interesting review, so please stay tuned. Until then, all I have to say is hasta luego!